Mumbai is a city of dreams, where millions arrive each day hoping to carve out a better life. Its streets are alive with ambition, energy, and endless possibility, but for Amira, those dreams began on a cold pavement corner tucked beside a bustling market. The city's promise felt distant, almost unreachable. Each morning she woke to the thunder of traffic and the shouts of vendors. Her only goal was simple: find enough food to survive another day. With her battered tin bowl she watched the world rush past. Some hurried strangers dropped coins with barely a glance, but most simply looked away, lost in their own lives. The sun burned her skin in summer, the monsoon rains soaked her to the bone, and sometimes other children mocked her torn clothes and bare feet. Amira learned to make herself invisible, blending into the background of the city, but inside she ached for something more, a sense of belonging, a chance to be seen. She watched the vendors, tailors, and tea sellers with fascination. Each had a skill, a purpose, and earned the respect of those around them. Amira yearned to be more than just a beggar. She dreamed of having a name that people spoke with pride, of being someone who mattered. The pavement became her school, teaching her lessons in resilience, patience, and the art of survival. She learned to read faces, to sense kindness or indifference in a glance. She memorized the city's rhythms, the rush of morning, the lull of afternoon, the kindness of a few and the coldness of many. Every day she watched, listened, and learned. Despite the loneliness that often surrounded her, a small flame of hope flickered within Amira. She believed deep down that her story could change. She was like a tiny, unnoticed seed, waiting patiently for a drop of opportunity, for a moment when her life could blossom. Life on the streets was harsh and unforgiving, but Amira's spirit refused to break. Each challenge only made her more determined. These were the first lessons that would shape her journey. Lessons of courage, hope, and the quiet strength to dream, even when the world seemed not to notice. Amira's true treasure wasn't coins, but discarded newspapers and magazines. Under a street lamp she traced letters, determined to unlock their meaning. The kind tea seller, Mr. Sharma, helped her sound out words. Slowly, stories of distant lands and great people opened her mind. Reading became her escape and her fuel for dreaming. She learned about hard work, innovation, and empathy from both books and life. Every fact she gathered was a brick in her foundation. She read about simple machines, business, and ideas that changed lives. Amira was no longer just a beggar, she was a learner, collecting ideas for a future she could barely imagine. Her mind, once filled with worry, now brimmed with possibility. The seeds of innovation began to take root. One monsoon evening, Amira watched vendors scramble as rain flooded the market. She saw old Ramlal struggle to push his cart, stuck in the mud, helpless. Remembering a science book's lesson on levers, Amira's mind sparked with an idea. She gathered scrap, a metal rod, wood, old wheels. Using stones and determination, she began to build a simple device to help vendors move heavy carts. Her hands ached, but she pressed on, driven by the memory of Ramlal's struggle. The city's chaos became her workshop. She was no longer just surviving, she was inventing. Hope had become action. After days of work, Amira's wheeled jack was ready. Nervous, she offered it to Ramlal, who laughed it off. Other vendors mocked her, but Mr. Gupta, a shopkeeper, saw potential. He asked if he could help his delivery boys. Amira demonstrated, and Mr. Gupta offered her 50 rupees for one. It was her first real payment, earned, not given. Joy and pride surged through her. She rushed to build a better version. When Mr. Gupta tested it, it worked perfectly. The crisp note in her hand was proof of her worth. It was validation, not charity. Amira was no longer invisible, she was a creator. That first order laid the foundation for her future. Her journey had truly begun. One idea, one order, changed everything. Word of Amira's invention spread. Soon, vendors lined up for her device. She set up a small workspace, improved her design, and earned respect, but success drew envy. Vikram, a repair stall owner, copied her idea and undercut her prices. He spread rumors claiming her devices were weak. One day, he publicly humiliated her, breaking a fake device and blaming her. The crowd jeered. Amira's hard-won reputation was threatened. Shame and anger burned inside her. She had built her name from nothing, and now it was under attack. The pavement that had become her factory now felt hostile. But Amira's resolve was tested, not broken. She faced her first real rival. The fight for her dream had begun. Heartbroken and exhausted, Amira nearly gave up as customers doubted her abilities and walked away from her stall. Each rejection felt heavier than the last, and the weight of her dream seemed almost too much to bear. But then, unexpectedly, Mr. Arjun Mehra, a well-known investor with a reputation for supporting new talent, approached her humble setup. He had witnessed Vikram's sabotage from a distance and was struck by Amira's resilience and ingenuity in the face of adversity. Curious and impressed, he asked her to explain her invention, wanting to hear her story in her own words. As Amira spoke, her passion and determination returned. Her eyes sparkled with hope as she described her vision and the challenges she had overcome. Mr. Mehra saw not just a clever device, but a determined mind and a spirit that refused to be broken, no matter the obstacles. An invention can be copied, but character cannot, he told her, his voice warm and encouraging, offering wisdom she desperately needed to hear. He offered to help, providing funding, resources, and a true partnership to build a real company from the ground up, believing in her potential. Amira would lead design and production using her creativity and experience. Together, they would create solutions to help workers across India improve their lives. For the first time, Amira saw a future beyond the pavement, a future filled with hope, purpose, and the promise of something greater. Her dream was no longer just about survival. It was about building something lasting, something that could make a real difference for others like her. Opportunity had finally found her, and with it came a sense of belonging and validation she had never known before. The next chapter of her life was about to begin, filled with hope, ambition, and the courage to dream bigger than ever before. Years later, Amira's company, Sahayata Solutions, had become a beacon of hope, transforming lives across India. What began as a small initiative on a crowded street corner had blossomed into a movement that touched millions, from the heart of busy cities to the quiet corners of rural villages. From humble beginnings, Amira rose to become the CEO of a multi-billion rupee enterprise, inspiring countless others to dream bigger and reach higher. Despite her success, she never forgot her roots or the power of a single idea. The memories of her struggles and the kindness she once received stayed close to her heart, guiding every decision she made. One day, Vikram, once her harshest critic and now defeated by life's twists, came seeking a job at her company, his pride replaced by desperation. Instead of turning him away, Amira offered him a chance, a gesture of mercy, not revenge. She believed in second chances, knowing that everyone's journey could change with a little kindness. At her company's anniversary celebration, a journalist asked her to reveal the secret behind her extraordinary success and resilience. Amira smiled, her eyes reflecting the long road she had traveled, and she paused to remember her journey from uncertainty to triumph. "There's no great secret," she replied gently. "It all started with one idea to help just one person and one order from someone who believed in me when no one else did. That was enough to set everything in motion. Empires are built one stone at a time. Every small act, every risk, every moment of faith adds up. Never underestimate a small beginning, because that's where greatness is born." Her story became legend, a testament to hope, grit, and the power of a single step. People everywhere found inspiration in her journey, believing that they too could change their destinies. Amira proved that every great empire begins with a determined heart, and that with courage and compassion, anyone can build something extraordinary from the smallest of beginnings.
What's something people don't know about stories? They never truly end. There's always a new adventure waiting for you. Just pick your next tale and I'll meet you there. Subscribe to the Story Circle and let me know which story I should tell next in the comments.